Hi everyone, welcome. Today I am going to show you some of the things that I travel with in my vehicle in the wintertime to help keep me safe in the event that there is an emergency. So the first thing is to always keep your gas tank topped up. So if your gas is down halfway, top it up, because you never know when you can run into an emergency and be stuck somewhere for several days. So another thing, of course, is a source of heat. If you remember, I had my fireplace there before. I have now removed my fireplace for the remainder of the year because it's not functionable, because it uses electricity and it would use up all my Jackery. So now I have my Mr. Buddy heater in her, and if you can see here, I have the heat activated fan on top of that, and that makes a huge amount of difference. So normally when I was using it before, the ceiling would get extremely hot, and this certainly does prevent this from happening. The one downfall about this that I don't like is the fact that it is an open blade. So I have to be very careful when the dog is in here, not to touch up against that, because it would tangle up the fur on the dog. So yeah, that's one downfall of that, but it does help circulate the heat a lot more. Okay, so other thing that I travel with is this, it's actually kind of hot, is this cup that I plug in, and it can plug into your cigarette lighter, or in this case it's plugged into my Jackery. It keeps your coffee very warm. You can warm up soup in this, or yeah, it's like super warm. I would almost say that you could cook in it because it's so hot. And I'm going to just see how much power it uses, because I haven't really noticed before. So it's actually using 17, I guess it's watts, 17 watts of power. So not too bad, but super hot, so hot I can barely touch this. So that's a handy thing to have to keep your drink warm. I'm going to turn this heater off now because it's too hot in here. It doesn't take very long to warm up once you have the Mr. Buddy heater going. Do remember though, I know you probably heard this before, definitely have a carbon monoxide detector, and don't forget to test it every so often to make sure that it's good to go and still working, because your batteries can run down, especially in the cold weather. So always have your carbon monoxide detector when you're using the Mr. Buddy heater, because mine did go off, giving me a headache, and actually I had gotten a headache before the alarm went off. So, and the Mr. Buddy heater did not cut out like it was intended to do once the oxygen was all used up in the van. Okay, so another thing with the Mr. Buddy heater, and if you're using a butane cooking stove, is these get very cold, so make sure that you have something to keep them wrapped. So when you do have your van heated up and you're not going to use, say, anything during the nighttime, wrap these up in like a blanket or something, just to keep the frost off them and keep them warm, because if they get really cold, your heaters won't start, your stove won't start, and I've had that experience as well. So another important thing when traveling, of course, is to keep a decent food supply, at least like 3 days. They always say keep for an emergency. You don't have to worry so much about the water in the wintertime, because there's usually always snow around, but if you're in a situation where there's no snow, well, you'll need to carry extra water with you. So one of the things that I like in the wintertime is soup, or like these spicy noodles, that sort of thing, because it really helps warm you up. So like chilies, soups, you know, hot tea, that sort of thing, to keep the inside of your body warm. I drink a lot of soup in the wintertime. This is something else that's always in my van in the winter, because this can really help keep your hands and your feet warm. So with this one, it may already be in another video. I'm going to post another video that's going to show you a link to how I use my heater, my butane heater, as a stove, or as a heater, my butane stove as a heater as well. And there may be something in that video about the pepper, but in any case, you just put this inside of a sock, You shake it all about, you put on a thinner sock, and then you put the sock with the pepper on over, and that will keep your feet really toasty warm. It works excellent. It works better than the cayenne pepper. You can do the same thing by putting a thin pair of gloves on, and then putting this into a thicker pair, and then putting them on over. Works amazing. This is definitely, for $1, keep this in your van. You never know when you may need it. Of course, other things. This emergency blanket, I got this from Walmart. So this has the silver side and also the orange side. And this orange side could come in handy if you're stuck on the highway in a snowstorm or something like that. This can help you be seen by just attaching it onto your wiper blade or something behind, so someone doesn't come up and hit into the back of you. Because as you know, when the visibility is down, whether it's snow or rain or whatever, it's definitely harder to see people on the sides of the highway. Now, let's hope that don't happen, but in the event that it does, you should always be prepared with something. You're going to need the basics like glove, hat, mitts, that sort of thing. These things also come in handy. $5 on Temu, little water bottles. Just in the nighttime, you know, fill them up with hot water. Put them in your sleeping bag or underneath your covers to help keep you warm. And they're really handy, especially in emergency use if you're cold. If you were to run out of gas or run out of your stove, run out of your propane or something, and you have a way to warm up the water still. And this could be as simple as this. You could use this to even warm up your water to go in there, because this is extremely hot right now. So just another idea. Okay, and then of course, you know, you got your snow brush with the scraper on the hand. Always carry one of them. Okay, this thing I don't normally have in my van. I just put it in there just to show you, but this is this is just like a little kid's shovel from the dollar store. Paid like $4 for it. I've been using this now for a couple of years, and it's already came in useful once because I went into a snowbank and I had to use it to shovel myself out. So actually, I even used it once to shovel myself out of a sandbank because I went into some sand and got stuck in that as well. So these little matches can also come in handy. These are like slow burning, so they burn a lot longer. If you light a normal match and you're trying to get something ongoing, they come in really handy. Just a little thing that I keep in the van. I also want to show you this little so I'm going to put a link. I've already posted a video on this before. This goes on top of your butane stove and acts as a heater. It works really well. You'd be amazed at the amount of heat that comes from it. You can also take your fan and put on top, just like I was doing right here with the propane. It works the same thing. It's heat activated to help circulate the heat. Now, I have saw people on YouTube where they have put this on their butane stove, and then they've put in the windshield, and then they've put foil on the top to use it as a heater. I'm going to tell you right now, do not do that, because if this can gets a little bit too hot, then it will start leaking and it will explode. So do not do that by putting the shield around and covering up. It is absolutely not safe. It's not worth your life. But I have seen videos of people doing that, and I wish they would realize, you know, how unsafe that it is. So yeah, I think that is about it, you know, for now. Yeah, so gas. A recap would be, you know, gas, a way to cook, 3 days supply of food, shovel, hat, mitts. Always keep, like I said, always keep your gas tank topped up. Really, not much more than that. This could be a backup if you ran out of propane or something and you do have a butane stove. I'm going to put a link to this, but also a link to the video as well, if you want to go in and see how that operates. So yeah, like I said, you can use the back shield with this when you're using it, so you don't splatter food or whatever around, but do not put a cover on top that keeps the heat down, pushing it down onto the can, because it is not safe. It's actually downright dangerous. I think that is about it. Anyways, I hope you all have a wonderful day. It is absolutely freezing here again today. It's minus 17. We went out on a little adventure, and Sarge had some fun, ran away from me in the woods, so then we returned back. Yeah. Anyways, I wish you all a wonderful day, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.